Oh, I got rid of my music. Ooh. Forgot the chair was on lean back. I'm gonna have to do some sit-ups after this garlic butter. Or this quote-unquote garlic sauce. Oh, and I don't give a damn. I'm eating. If anybody in here. Oh, YouTube. What up, YouTube? I am here, man. I'm here. I'm right here. I thought I scooted out of range, but you guys can still see me munch, so. And they got munch right now. I'm gonna munch hard, too. Two different types of pizza. Okay. Two different types of pizza. I might have react to this video real quick.
Wondered what you would do if you encountered a real-life T-Rex? Well, today...
No free promo, but this dude I watch all the time, so shout out to Kentucky Ballistics.
We're gonna find out. This thing is over 6 foot long and weighs over 600 pounds and is a real-life replica of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And today we're gonna shoot it with the world's most powerful guns. 500 Magnum Desert Eagle, Boz, 12 gauge, A square, 5.77 Tyrannosaurus, 700 BMG, a 4-bore rifle, 950 JDJ. It's time to ride the lightning. Oh, darkness, my old friend. What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And you know, there's something I have always wondered. Could I actually defeat a real-life Tyrannosaurus Rex? Well, today, we're going to find out. This behemoth is the actual size of an adult Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's over 6 foot long, and this thing weighs over 600 pounds. Today I have several calibers to shoot this thing with. We're gonna start out small and then work our way up to the world's most powerful rifles and see what it would take to actually take down this prehistoric beast. But before we do, I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Chris with Ballistic Dummy Lab. Chris is the creator behind all the cool stuff we shoot on this channel, whether it be gremlins, zombies, vampires, werewolves, and now you've made a T-Rex.
That's quite a feat.
This has been a year in the making.
About that, yeah.
Something like that.
From design up, yeah.
We've been out here for several hours today. You had to hand deliver this thing. I cannot imagine what goes into making something this big, but you have filmed the process, right, and maybe putting a video up on your channel?
Yeah, I'll do a BTS on YouTube and maybe some short clips on Instagram.
Awesome. I just want to tell you thank you for all the cool stuff you do for the channel, and thank you for this. I am super excited to unfortunately destroy your beautiful creation.
I want to give a quick
Yo. If y'all trying to do a trio or squads, when y'all finish doing what y'all doing, I'm gonna finish eating this pizza then. Mm-hmm. Little bro always get loud when the music, when people join my lobby and shit. That's crazy work. Nigga was mad quiet at first.
This is a beautiful Nighthawk custom 10 millimeter, and this thing is loaded up with some 200 grain jacketed hollow points. Okay, here we go. Hit somewhere in here, and again, we're not making it very far into this thing. I'm definitely thinking that if I encountered a T-Rex and all I had was a handgun, I might as well just run. So now it's time to step it up to more Magnum pistol calibers. Up next is going to be a 44 Magnum. This is a Taurus 44 Magnum, and I'll be loaded up with something real special. This is a 44 Magnum Black Talon. There we go. We go right down the snoot again. Oh! Okay. I would say you felt that one.
Mm.
Yikes. Yeah. That 44 mag Black Talon was not playing around, was it? We hit him right here. I don't know how deep we made it in. It does still kind of look like a flesh wound, but yeah, he definitely would not like that. Still don't think it would take him out though. Oh my god! I don't normally film under a canopy. That's pretty brutal. Maybe we should do this more often. 44 Magnum did quite a bit of damage, so I'm very excited to see what we can do with this next caliber. We have a Desert Eagle, actually a custom Kentucky Ballistics Desert Eagle. And as you can see on this side, it actually says man versus T-Rex. It's almost like it was made just for this video. And I'm going to be loaded up with some 58E 300 grain jacketed hollow points. Okay. There we go. Oh! Knock his teeth out again. So I hit somewhere in here, but we did not have as much of a reaction.
Can't hear you, by the way.
44 Magnum. I think that's because the 44 Magnum kind of scraped upward and was not as deep into the T-Rex. But through here, it's not really doing a lot to it. There's a lot of meat here. I wonder what T-Rex tastes like. I can try it. So up next, we are going to step it up to the Mac Daddy of production handguns. That is the 500 Magnum, and I have a special one. This is Demolition Ranch's 500 Magnum that he lost to me in an arm wrestling contest. It is gold, it is very short, and I absolutely love it. Mainly because I took it from Matt. But in honor of Matt, I'll pull one out for you. We miss you, Matt. Not really. No, Cuba's T-Rex. Oh, and we're using 350 grain Underwood Jagged Hollow points.
No mic?
Timmy kicking. I still don't really know how Matt shot this. I think he was definitely using a stun double because I just can't see how he handled that recoil. Okay, so
Here we go.
hit right here.
Yep.
Yellow.
Yep.
And we're starting to have some splitting right here.
Yellow.
Probably due to the extreme force and multiple shots to his face and possibly
Yep.
a little bit of heat also. But I'm going to say mostly from the gunshots. I still don't think the staples up. He'd still be coming at you. So according to the Jurassic Park movies, some of the best defense for a dinosaur is the Spaz 12 gauge. So we have to at least take one shot at this T-Rex with this, and I'll be loaded up with some 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck. That is the best sound in the entire world. Oh, no! Oh, there we go. Oh, no. You know what will fix that? Oh, told you.
Yo, what's up with your mic, brother?
Nothing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just kept saying yo, yo.
I'm here.
Oh. Let's mic up. Let's mic up. Let's mic up.
All the time.
Yeah, I ain't want to ready up without your mic.
Awesome content like this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't miss out. So speaking of firearms used in the Jurassic Park movies, according to Mr. Chris Pratt, a 45-70 lever action is the best defense for dinosaurs. Well, we're going to find out. I'll be loaded up with a 45-70 405 grain soft bore. Right there. And
Rolly with a dab of ranch.
I ain't got no ranch, but I got some garlic butter sauce. I totally jumped already.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna go to your usual spot, so I just jumped.
Oh, all good, all good. I didn't know where we were for a second. Oh, so they just did that for like a day or two, and now they went back to the normal shit?
It was a couple days. Quite a few.
I think it was just a weekend, to be honest. I can't hear shit. I don't know what's going on right now. You good?
Thank you.
us. Coming towards us. Crowns. Crowns. Yes.
Get my crown. Are we in the? Yep.
I didn't pick up any of those guns. That was stupid. You going for what I think you're going for?
Negative, but we can.
Well,
Someone's on it.
fighting. Didn't even see me coming. Dusting them. Wherever them is.
Not the same corner. Get on another corner. Yeah. They're coming this way. They're coming this way.
They're coming right at us.
Yeah, come around the other way. Let's do this.
Yep.
One down. Inside.
Yep.
Done.
And we stole crowns.
Yep.
That's how it's done.
Easy money.
Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Yeah, GG's, bro. Alright, stream. We out.
Just calling it. What you know about rolling down? Alright, if they're in Pittsburgh, why the fuck did it start so early? Eat, sleep, breathe.
I'm a jumping.
You already jumped?
Yep.
Where you going?
My use.
Oh. Just checking. Alright, we got 1, 2, at least 3 squads, 2 squads. Oh, Rhea can rip Blee. You good over there, bro?
Mm-hmm. Pulling up on some people I see. Can't resist.
I'm with you. I'm glad you could hit your shots because I couldn't hit any.
I had to shoot around the back of your noggin the whole time.
Like, I missed a lot of shots right there. I don't even want to talk about that. That was crazy.
I was I was like, what the fuck?
To our right.
But I'm hitting this
Yeah, I see you. Get anything good?
airbender. I don't know if it's good or just different. Right here.
Yep, I see him. Going high.
In pursuit.
Yep. I had a good idea. You were just quicker than me.
Right here. Come on, finish, guy. Thank you. Good bring back. What do you
All
have?
kinds of loot.
Water. No pump and dump. I'll take this, and I want that motherfucker right there, that little SMG. Nah, that's a shotgun. No, I'm gonna take that shotgun. Unless you want a shotgun, and I'll take this.
I don't care. I was letting you loot.
I don't know which one you're more comfortable with, but it's just us and them.
Yep. Whoever them is. They were definitely fighting somewhere over here. On me.
Good shit. Here I come. Don't you run from me. Oh, you lucky.
That fucking headshot.
I said, don't you run from me. I was about to pull up on their ass.
I was just
Nasty.
dumping on him from this house.
Yeah, I were too, but I was below, so once they got a little distance, they couldn't see my shots no more. Yeah, that was some good shots. Good shots. Doof, 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 doof. You said, oh! You excited, B?
About what?
Becoming a first-time homeowner? Hey, look. Could be a first-time building owner too, landowner. I was looking into it. Me and Quincy were just talking about it before I got online.
We shall see. I'm all for it.
I just think if let's say we did get that place, because he told me how the inside looks. First building is all classrooms, right? Imagine the first floor being offices, second floor being miscellaneous, gaming, streaming, all this other stuff. Top floor being where we live, our penthouses. Imagine having our very own style penthouses in a big ass school with your own space and probably, 2 rooms, whatever. All right. So, with that being said, realistically, that's dope. The other building, downstairs is a cafeteria. Upstairs is a gym, music room, and all these other things. I'm jumping. So,
Yeah, I get it.
all that stuff is in there. And he was like, yo, that used to be a nice ass gym and this and that, da da da. So they stopped working in there in 2013. And it was sold in 2015 or so. And I'm like, dude, that's
Oh my god.
not even gonna talk about it. Oh. You were down that fast? Like landed?
Bro, I didn't even land. I was already getting hit.
Why didn't I finish that drink? I don't think I want to bother these guys, do I?
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
What the fuck was that game? Oh my god. After everything we just did and that's how we end it.
Bro, I just ran off a cliff. Hey, hold on, I'll be back. I need to go take a breather. Walk out my door real quick. I'm coming back. That's crazy. I'm through with standing in lines. Am I just in time?
Uh-huh.
Landing. You should start landing back at the llama like you used to, instead of going in the city while I'm at the top of the mountain. Because you used to land at the llama, and I would land up here, and then you started going straight to the city.
I'm on the llama.
Yeah, I about to say, usually get active at the city as soon as you land.
And there's another person on me.
Yeah, but they're not that bad at the llama. And here, catch. You're going the wrong way. Catch this. Hiya. Well, might be a little too far, but I threw that.
I may have started getting greedy.
No, you're doing your thing. I don't mind.
Know what I'm saying by not landing at the llama anymore. Is what I meant.
Yeah. I can see it happening at the llama, not landing there. But if you land at the llama and land at the top first, break your way down, you get everything that's in it. Speaking of everything, there's a llama 300 meters away.
I'm down if you're down.
It's gone now, I think. As soon as I started making my way.
Downtown, walking fast, faces passing the home, bro. Oh.
Got him. You're mine.
Your soul is mine.
You on me? You're still in the store.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
Huh.
I'm making my way downtown. I need a rift.
Here, take this. Finally. And this. If you want.
I'll be alright.
You bastard bitch. I see some gold shit over here. I'm going. Mark 'em. Right behind us.
Fuck, I went into the house.
In the street. Somebody just went through a rift. I'm getting chased over here.
How the fuck did she see me? Oh my god.
Shorty literally stopped fighting you to run up on me. Her and that girl were in the house with you fighting. I was outside at the gazebo. She took off running outside. I watched her on screen. Ran towards me, started shooting me. I was like, finish the fight, you're in, bitch. My knee. Not letting me out the bus was crazy.
Yeah, I noticed.
I was clicking. I was twicking. You know I hate landing over here.
Yeah, I'm all by myself over here.
Sounds familiar.
I
Bruh.
just broke my fucking ankles.
Bruh. Watched it. I don't even know who's shooting at me.
You good?
Yeah, I sent them shots right up her ass.
Fuck, where'd my pump and dump go?
I wish I had a pump and dump. To be like, fuck, where my pump and dump? Oh, that llama was 300 meters. I thought it was right here meters.
Alright, where the fuck's the rift at?
I wanted that blue chest, but I was shooting at one guy away from the blue chest, and then this nigga came over towards it. And I can't tell
I
if
don't see
they...
anybody.
We were just shooting a dude.
Alright, I just killed another guy. Who the fuck just shot me? Bro, what if, I don't even understand where I'm getting shot from.
Come on, let's get out of here. You're getting shot from everywhere. Oh shit, you're still there.
Go.
I can't. I thought you were... Oh, son of a... Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I need to get out of here for health. Let's go get that, shit.
Yeah.
I ran out of sprints, East.
So did I. Just go. Keep running. Keep running.
Shit. I'm 11 health. They're gonna be coming.
Go for it.
You got a shield bubble?
No, I don't got nothing.
Found a shield bubble. Not gonna help. Tried to do the jump and flip kick. Nothing. Tried to pick up a shield bubble first. It said, here, take the fire shit. I don't want it. I want a shield bubble. Hope it let me out of the bus in time. Wow.
Oh my god. Getting jumped by 3 different squads. Guys in front of me, guys behind me, guys on top of me.
Damn. Upstairs.
Bro, what are you made of? I'm getting real fucking tired of this game.
I just got hit with a fucking blammy. They got me saying, ooh, blam, blam. Oh, blam. I got blammed up with the big black bammy. Oh, pause. Fuck. Hey, Belger. What the fuck just happened? We died!
I don't know.
Hmm?
We won our first 2 games with these and now we can't do shit.
Yeah, this shit crazy. Let's just go free flow. Free flow. Not even think about it. We're gonna free flow through this. I'm gonna drink some butter garlic flavorful sauce. No, I'm throwing it away. It looks good though. I'm gonna put some peanuts on my watermelon. What? Free flow, buddy. I'll see you on the other side. Oh. It actually worked out either way. No restrictions, no watching my back, no counting on the other person to help you shoot. We're really good. We got this. We can solo individual duos. And then meet up in the middle, which I'm about to come towards you now. I've looted a few things.
That storm is moving.
Not on your own, you don't. Mine. You can have that guy. I want this guy. Dude uphill, watch our 6s. What am I shooting with? Bananas? Fuck this. You down. Missed again. Oh, I forgot I don't have stick drift. On our 6s. Real niggas.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to the new land.
They thought they got behind me. Oh my god, bro.
You're done.
Fuck out of here. Give me your crown, too.
Oh, that's you. That's you. That's you.
All good, all good. I'll take this crown.
Oh shit, my bad. He was so up close when I blasted. I thought it was all me.
Well, it's the invisibility shit. We keep disappearing.
You want this?
Nah, I'm good.
High ground. Okay, hard to do.
Right there. Oh,
There's
on
more.
us, on us.
There's more than one. I'm looking at these two right here, and then there's other people on the other side.
It's us and them.
You killed the other people?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't push yet. Sorry. Above you. Other side of the wall. Hell yeah. Shot one in the back with the explosive rifle. Waited for that shit to go off as you dumped inside of him. Pause, but it worked.
They didn't even know I was there. I just stayed against the wall.
That's why I was like, don't push, because one was above. I was like, this is beautiful. Invisible, baby. See you again.
One squad down.
Enemy neutralized. Headed to the llama.
Huh?
Headed to the llama.
Oh. I thought you said headed to the lobby. It's like, yeah, there's a couple of them headed to the lobby.
Someone just got the medallion. And the airbender power.
Yeah, I see them. They dipped that way. Go bird, go bird, go bird. Oh, they're fighting right over there. Behind us, behind us.
Waterman just pulling up. He's beside us, not behind.
Oh, I'm on his ass. Right here.
Now we got someone on our rear.
Bro, how am I not hitting them? What the
That's what I'm
fuck
saying.
is
These
going
niggas was
on?
moving.
The craziest part is I didn't hit a single shot.
I did, but
Like, what the fuck? Where the fuck they at?
it's 5. I was trying to sneak. I didn't know you were gonna walk behind me. Made my sneaking pointless. Oh, you monster. Oh. I was about to sneak while you shot and pull up on him. I didn't know you were hugging that fence. Let's go do this nigga shit. On the roof. Not no more. Go ass off the roof. Knocked out dude in the storm. One down. He's done.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Fucking jumping around bullshit, acting like y'all ain't gonna get touched.
Them niggas was hauling ass though. They were hauling ass, B. It was hard to catch them niggas.
8 kills,
But
baby.
they were catchable though. They were caught.
One of my best matches recently.
He said, "Get your ass back over here acting like you can't get touched." Excuse me? Charles Oliveira getting knocked out by Ilya Tapora is still fucking crazy. No. Max
James is getting
Holloway.
knocked out, bro.
Max Holloway. Huh? Yeah, we can say that about Charles because, yeah, he got knocked out, yada, yada, yada. That's cool. No, he doesn't get knocked out that easy, though. Let's be real. That was the 2 times he got knocked out.
Less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, but that's still a hard thing to do. The guys that knocked him out also did some real damage to other people. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get knocked out by, like, fucking name brain Quang. He was at the elites of the tops, and they had to knock him out because he's walking forward. First of all, let's talk about him and the way he fights. He walks forward. So it's not that the people's power is just that good. He's walking towards their shots and taking them down and fighting them the whole time so he can get caught easier. That don't mean he's easy to knock out and like he got a weak jaw. No, he's just amplifying the people's power a little too much sometimes. Which is why Homeboy was like, I'm sorry it had to be you because I know your weakness. And it's kind of like, it was true. He knew what to punch. Max Holloway, Volkanovski, like, dude's knocking him out. Like what he did to Max, I was like, oh, what? That was different. Volkanovski, I can see. I was like, okay, he could get knocked out. He, you know, it's possible. Volk's pretty good still, but, you know, that's the thing. I didn't expect him to knock out Max Holloway.
Holloway and Oliveira.
Bro, he's
Back to back to back.
in 6 rounds. He's become a double champ. He's way better than Khabib. Like this is the talk now. He's better than Khabib. That's gonna be hard to say no for me. Homeboy was like, he's better than he's John Jones. I was like, hold on now. He ain't better than John Jones.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't commit a hit and run, as long as he doesn't do steroids, yeah, he'll definitely be better than John.
You can say that if you want to. He still can't fight John Jones. And you can say weight class too. If he was John Jones' size, he's still
skipped off by Tom Aspinall.
Oh, you can say that now because it's all over and he didn't take the fight and da 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 da. But let's be honest. Nobody was saying that when John Jones was reigning on top of the fight community.
For 3 years.
John Jones reigned on the fight community before that fight even proposed a toast. And nobody said shit. Soon as he gets double champ and all this other stuff and UFC becomes boring because there was nobody else to lift their spirits, everybody else getting knocked the fuck out or fought, they were like, oh, John needs to fight. Give John, we're spoiled. We need a new fight. We need John to fight. But in reality,
I mean,
John Bones Jones.
Fuck boy, but I don't like him. Never have.
I get that, but it's undeniable. John Jones was fucking the greatest fighter to grace their fucking facility.
You can't put the greatest fighter in the world when you cheated twice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can.
Do that.
Because one, you can't know, you don't know all these other fighters' backgrounds. You just know that they weren't caught doing something or they didn't do this or da 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 because no one told you or you weren't caught. But then you go back and look, a lot of these fighters had fucked up gloves or were doing this and doing all these crazy things. Some of the fights were booked and were supposed to go down a certain way. So, like, we can't even gauge that off of steroids because there's so many other politics that were in play.
About fights that have gone their way.
Yeah.
Dana White is the only reason why John's ever became a double champ. He's not
Yeah,
even
okay, but he's not the reason why John Jones beat everybody that was in front of him. Let's say that. Is he the reason why John Jones beat? Is he the reason why even
people that were trash?
Trash? Yeah, okay, yeah, he beat someone that was trash. Stipe, yeah, right. Alistair Overeem is not trash. Just because he got knocked the fuck out by somebody, Alistair Overeem was still a fucking dangerous fighter. But Yeah, 40 Stipe, but you know, I get that. But that still doesn't change the fact that John Jones beat everybody in his way. You can say he ran from somebody, he ran from this, he was the champion half the times. So he could do whatever he want, to be honest. Conor McGregor. We love Conor McGregor.
You fight all people.
Okay.
Fight the best. You don't
How many champions did
Bro, you just said if we're talking about the greatest of all time, you just brought up
John Jones beat every last champion that was placed in for. He fought champion after champion. He didn't just like fight a bunch of nobodies. John Jones fought everybody. Like John Jones been fighting so long that some of the niggas that he fought are dead now. So yeah, we can say John Jones is old, is too young and this and that. But at the same time, his fight age is different. John Jones has fought every damn body there was. And yeah, they'll go up a weight class and do this and do that was kind of like a thing. But for the record, that's all he wanted it for, was for his record. So let's be honest. If you're being called, quote unquote, the greatest of all time, yeah, give me that too. Give me that little extra title so I can have it on my record. Even if people might call it BS. But if I'm a UFC fighter and no one has stepped in front of me and beat me, nah, GOAT status. There's no other way around it. You ain't gotta like him. I don't like a lot of other people. Like there's a couple fighters I just can't fucking stand. I did not like Ilia Topuria. I couldn't stand him.
I still really don't.
Is he a great fighter? I can't help it but say yes. That nigga knows his stuff. He's precise.
I'm not saying John doesn't know his shit. I'm just saying John is not the greatest of all time.
There was no other. In UFC and MMA history, there was no other fighter, whether you can say steroids or whatever, there's no one else that has accomplished what John has, at the caliber John has accomplished it, along with the type of competition that he was fighting. Because nowadays competition ain't what John was fighting. I'm fighting those people downhill. They're doing some significant
like I said, I can't win this fight because you're a John meat rider.
No. I'm a UFC. I like martial arts, brother. I'm realistic. So if I see your point, I get it. But you're not making the right point into my eyes. You can argue Mighty Mouse, but Mighty Mouse is just one of them. If we're talking pound for pound greatest of all time, unfortunately, that is just John Jones. You can't say it's McGregor. You can't say it's who they keep saying it is. It's like, what's his name? Khabib and all these other people. It's not them.
We need to stop this conversation. You've gone down twice now in the middle of this conversation.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I was packing one at the same time. That's why. But like, I look at it that way. Yeah, he's done a lot of crazy things. Believe me, from back in the day, me being one of the greatest John Jones likers ever, I fucking love John Jones. When I first heard him getting into trouble, when I first heard him getting into trouble, it immediately broke my heart. I was like, this fucking guy, you're wasting opportunity. So like, of course, I was the most pissed of him at anybody. I was mad that even when he gave that elbow to that guy, and I was like, he should have known better. Even though it was a clear mistake, but still, you can't deny it.
From the record anyway?
Yeah, but like even still from the record, imagine being that good that they tried to do something that way to you, so you had that on your record, because it was a clear mistake. But they were like, nah, dog, let's go ahead and take this. But still to me.
Where did all that loot go? No,
The my loot?
Back. Okay. Oh yeah, you grabbed your loot back.
Yeah, I got a shotgun.
That's what I was trying to make sure that happened. Cause I was like the loot's fucking gone.
Yeah, I grabbed a couple things. Shotgun, a chug.
Yo, why wasn't it letting me pick up a fucking crown?
A minute ago?
It wouldn't let me pick up a crown.
That's crazy.
I don't understand what just happened. Like, that whole time you were getting down, I was trying to pick up that crown. And it didn't give it to me.
Didn't give you a crown, huh?
Yeah, I see that you got one.
No, cause I'm just bringing this to the group It's attention. Crown. Me? No, I ain't. I don't like them.
Bro, can you get your ass in the fight?
Who, me? Sorry. I'll take a bunch of healing items in the storm. You got somebody on you?
No, I'm good.
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, I got two.
I'm telling you.
On me. Oh my god.
The fuck was I shooting? Oh my god, that was the last squad, bro. I was like, you got somebody on you? He said, nope. That nigga was midair coming at you. I couldn't shoot him. He was invisible or whatever the fuck he was. And I don't know where his partner came from, but... Is that Eminem dressed up as Tiger Woods? Who you... Okay, if John Jones isn't the greatest fighter in the UFC of all time, in mixed martial arts, record-wise and rapport-wise, if that's a big factor now, because as a fighter, Mike Tyson's rapport wasn't the best of what he did in the outside world, but
yeah, but he never cheated.
Yeah, well, that's not true. Cocaine's a cheat, and a lot of other things is a cheat. Going there drunk and everything else is a cheat, so we can't say that he didn't. And what?
No,
you can't.
Dude,
Have you ever fought on? Okay, as a person who's been under the influence of something of a substance such as that, and competed at the same time, I know what it can do enhancement wise, which is why John Jones did it. So trust me, I'm speaking from true facts. Cheating's cheating either way, right? So you can't say, oh, he didn't do that. He didn't do it like John Jones. First of all, they're not really saying, and we're not gonna go 100% say John Jones is on steroids, and that's the only reason why he fucking won. Because half of these guys, Randy Couture, all these guys were yoked up on steroids at their point in time in their careers. So like, we can't say, oh, that's the only reason why John Jones won his fight.
So you're saying the only reason why John Jones got caught was because they had USADA?
I'm saying that
USADA back in the day, all these other guys would have popped with shit too.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. If they had a more extensive, and these guys were just as controversial as John Jones, yes. Yeah, yes. What?
I mean,
don't be so naive now.
Put the fucking target on his own back.
You know it was in their drink. It was in their. They were drinking it ringside, bro. Come on.
Oh, fuck.
What do you think? Look at fucking Space Jam. Doesn't that teach you enough? Where they were fucking got that secret sauce, and it's in that water jug. That's real events. That's real stuff. Ain't joking. Motherfuckers would be right there outside the boxing ring, giving them the go-go juice. And then he come back in after getting 3 rounds of his face bashed in. He come back in and lays the dude out in 1 round. All right, buddy. That's been happening since day one. John Jones, I don't care what nobody says. Before that was even a thing, John Jones was in another fight league and he was younger and he was still dominating. He dominated. There is no other fighter that we can name right now in the UFC and say he's pound for pound, record-wise, better than John Bones Jones because he fought this amount of people compared to John Bones Jones. I just don't see anybody's record comparing yet. Now, will it happen? Definitely. Could it happen? Maybe. Did it happen yet? Nah. Where you at? How close? Oh, here, catch. Did that go through the rift? Now, before, hear me out. If we're talking OG GOATs, it would have had to been
Come on.
Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva. Because that, I mean, the world, hey, you can't, it's not just you. I like GSP too, but before GSP, there was Anderson Silva. And GSP learned from Anderson Silva.
At the same time.
No, not even close. Anderson Silva, bro, come on. I've been watching UFC for so long.
Silver's only
It might
got-
be close in age-wise to the like regular like look at it, but
only got
fight-wise,
6 years on him.
fight-wise, that's far apart, bro. Fight community-wise, that's far apart. I'm telling you right now, Anderson Silva was the GOAT before anybody was like, oh, the GOAT, 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 GOAT. It was Anderson Silva. Knocking out the greats like Vito or Belfort and all the other greats. And then it was John Jones. There was nobody else. It was John Jones. And the reason why John Jones was the great, because he knocked out all of the greats. And Anderson was the only person of the greats that he did not fight because he would have laid him out. He was just way too big and way too strong even for their weight division. So the fight never happened. I'm going to get pressed from the rear.
Yeah, I'm getting pressed too.
I'm coming to you. I'm bringing guys.
I killed him.
No, I'm bringing guys throughout the house.
Oh my god.
His partner's here. Reloading.
Dropped me.
Me too. Oh my god.
Alright, we could do this talk like at another time.
Nah, why? You can't focus?
No, because we're not focused. Dude, we've
I'm
lost
focused.
every fight we've done since we've talked about this.
I'm focused. I just think you're heating
More
up.
focused we would have had
You have
a
not
fucking-
still, you haven't given me a name or a person that would be the greatest UFC fighter of all time. And GSP, unfortunately, is a biased opinion. Record-wise, they didn't. I mean, he's not. He is definitely top 10 pound for pound. Like he's number 3 in my list. Well, not favorite fighters, but in my list of like pound for pound fighters and what they accomplished as far as popularity, fight wise, and all those things. GSP is number 3 for me. Israel Adesanya is not even in the top 3. Like,
No, I'm not even saying that either.
yeah, but I can't unplace people
I'm
like
just saying
Anderson
that-
Silva and John Jones.
He's not. That's all I'm saying.
He's not the top. He's not the greatest fighter in the UFC of all time. Who is?
I already said it, and you just discounted it for whatever reason.
Could he fight? Could he fight? This is the thing about being the
See, but
greatest.
This is the other thing about what you're talking about. That shit didn't exist until recently.
What
This whole
didn't?
2-division shit.
No,
and
we're not
going
talking about two
division to
division.
and
We're
all
not
that.
talking two division
You
because
keep talking
if you're
about how
talking
he
two
couldn't fight
division,
GSP, he couldn't fight this guy. Yeah, because they're different fucking weight classes.
I didn't say any of those could fight each other. And first of all, Anderson Silva and John Jones were in the same weight class at one point in time. So was Izzy. So they could have fought. John Jones wasn't always heavyweight. He's down in there in that middleweight, and he's done that
was
light
light
heavyweight. So
heavyweight.
I'm not saying that they could fight. First of all, GSP and John Jones wouldn't go. John Jones wouldn't murder GSP. The point of that even being said, if we were talking a full-on fight, here's the thing: no one in the UFC wanted to fight John Jones. Nobody else had that feeling other than like Anderson Silva, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. But they weren't like, nah, I'll pass. Nah, I'm not gonna fight John. Nah, what's the point of fighting John? They weren't doing that. They were literally doing that for John Jones. Now,
They were doing that
whether
for
it was because he was in the eye
They were
poker,
doing that for
whether it was because he was on roids, whether it was because he was on coke, who knows? But GSP, good boy, great record, top 10 fighter of all time. Not gonna lie, but I don't see.
This is like talking to someone if I was talking about LeBron, how LeBron's not the greatest of all time. Y'all just gonna ride it and
No,
give up
literally,
all
go
these good information
ask
so
ask
it's-
UFC. This is UFC. This. No one in the world is saying GSP is not the great. Do you know what I mean? One of the goats. But if there has to be a
The
goat,
biggest thing though with all these talks, there's no such thing as a GOAT when you have 7 different divisions.
there's goats in divisions. Yeah.
Like
But then there's a GOAT of all divisions.
Overall GOAT.
Yeah, there is. If you think, okay, heavy, okay, how can there not be an overall GOAT? Put it in this way: if we were all in the same building together,
they all can't fight.
Yeah, they can.
Legally, through the UFC.
Legally, no. But realistically, we're talking the baddest people on the planet, though. We're talking like fighters like that. Realistically, if you're saying pound for pound greatest,
that we watch hockey or fucking the other ones.
There's no weight classes in that. We're not talking about that. We're talking, but if there wasn't a weight class,
what we're talking about. You said that they were the
I haven't once said there was going to be a free for all and these guys couldn't fight John Jones Bones. But if you want to say that, if you all say that, if you want to say that though, which one of those guys is beating John Bones Jones? GSP, Anderson Silva, who? In John Jones Bones prime, GSP's prime, fucking Rampage Jackson, any of them, weight class the same or not, in their primes, who was beating him? No one. And this is barring weight classes. This is barring all of it. Since you said that, that's what I'm saying. If you want to be the baddest man in the UFC, make it to where not one person in any of the weight classes can beat you, and he did that. Ilia Topuria is on his way, except for heavyweights and all that other stuff, of course. But like, if Mighty Mouse had more size on him, I'd say Mighty Mouse. But his accomplishments aren't there. He just got traded for a high amount of money, which is like he's just a high class slave. But marketing money and time, longevity, I don't know. I don't know, man. And this is not the meat riding, because I love Izzy. And I knew John more longer, but I love Izzy more. And he's gone. He lost. But I don't know.
Because bro doesn't know how to fucking wrestle. If bro knew basic wrestling, he would have been good at it. He would have won the 2 fights he lost.
So you're saying that he doesn't have a whole rounded skill? Like he's not good everywhere? The ground game, fight, stand up?
No.
Or like his ground game is pretty bad.
Once again, I like Izzy too, but he's not an well-rounded fighter at all. No.
You know who is?
He got exposed when he didn't know how to wrestle.
Right. You know who is a well-rounded?
That's how he got beat by Stipe. It's the only reason he lost to Stipe.
You know who is a well-rounded fighter? All overall? It's underrated too, because people forget this. John Bones Jones, okay? Ground game, jiu-jitsu, knockouts, Greco-Roman. First of all, they don't even do Greco-Roman that much in UFC. He does. Lyoto Machida.
Or you can say the same thing about Mighty Mouse. You can say the same thing about GSP. You can say the same thing about Silva. You can say the same thing about American Minor.
How is GSP's jiu-jitsu?
GSP was the submission.
Right. How is his stand-up?
But they can still.
No, how is his stand-up? Because if you look at it, Anderson Silva's stand-up was immaculate, and his ground game was good.
Anderson Silva's cockiness is the only thing that killed him.
Well, his old age. Father Time got him. Because with cockiness, you always have it. It's just his old age wasn't keeping up with the cockiness. That's the difference, and that's where misconception, because old age, fight-wise, for fighters is different. John Jones, fight-wise, is very old. So him fighting Tom Aspinall would not have been a good move. He would have lost. And that's not saying, oh, Tom Aspinall would beat John Jones in his prime. Not possible.
He fought him 3 years ago when the whole fight was first talking.
That's not John Jones in his prime. That's John Jones after breaking toes, after being out for a while, after coming back and all that. So I'm talking... No. Hold on. Pause. No way. I said this shit back then. You can't do that. I said 100% prime John Jones, not 3 years ago John Jones. That's not prime John Jones. You know what I mean? I'm saying prime John Jones.
The whole point of fighting is you're never in your prime. You're in your prime for a little bit, and then you're always.
No, the whole point of fighting is getting all your best fights out and your toughest fights in your prime. The whole point of fighting is getting your toughest fights out in prime. Trust me, that's what I do. You're supposed to get your toughest fights out in prime. You don't want to face some guy that everybody's saying, oh, this guy's huge, he's this, he's so young and this and that, he's going to beat you, and you're fucking 37, 35. And then they're going to be like, well, Stipe gave him a chance and they were this year old. That doesn't matter. That was a couple years ago. That was both of their years ago. So, like, that's different.
It doesn't matter when it's in the favor of...
No, it doesn't matter because it's different people. It doesn't matter because it's different people. Tom Aspinall's fight career... Tom Aspinall's fight career isn't as long as Stipe, and that's not saying Stipe has been fighting for this long. I don't know how long Stipe's fight career is. It could be 5 years. Tom Aspinall probably wasn't competing overseas in like K1 and different competitions like Israel was before we even saw Izzy on the fight scene, right? Before anybody knew who Izzy was, he had 100 plus fights in his belt, wins. Before any of y'all knew, before any of us knew, he had 100 plus fights. Same thing with John Bones Jones, well before Izzy. So what I'm saying is their fight age is different. Not saying, oh, he's 37, he's fine. No, that nigga been fighting for a long time, and that difference is on your body, especially after he has actually broken several bones fight-wise, has actually pulled several muscles fight-wise. So fight age changes things.
One of these fighters hasn't, let's be honest. Like, they all get hurt.
Tom Aspinall, new fighters.
That's why they all go on the fucking leave.
That's why all the new fighters come in and fight everybody's greats, because they don't have those injuries. Because they got really good, they got really fast, they got fast-tracked it. They're like, oh, boom, I don't have to go through 15 years of fighting if I can go and fight through this. If I can fight through this circuit right now, and UFC will see me. That's how easy it is now, bro. So it's not different from the league. You can't change that. You can't say, oh, these guys that's going to college now put in as much work as Michael Jordan and them back in the day, who had to ball all day and do all this outside. No, it's fast track now. They play at the right school in front of the right people, and they're good to go. They're in front of the right viral video, and they're good to go, bro. UFC is the same way. These fighters, they fight one good person. They're like, oh, you know who will be a good fight? John Jones. You know who will be a good fight? This guy, because he's really new and he's really good now. So it's fight age, bro. It's different. Yes, I'm saying 100% these guys haven't been through as much as these fighters have to even deserve a fight like that.
I need to circle, since we're never going to end this conversation, let's just circle back how you said that he's better than Khabib when he's the only actual person that's ever been retired as undefeated.
Who, Khabib? Who did Khabib fight?
What is that like?
Undefeated? No. It matters. It matters.
Important people in his
what? Okay, if any fighter, Mayweather or John Jones, any fighter, right? If you were to mention a fighter right now, it could be a new fighter. Mention a new fighter. We'll make somebody up, and he's got 30 fights right now, right? And he's hot.
He retired when he was still able to fight too. Only
Who?
His dad died.
Who?
Nurmagomedov.
But who did he fight?
What do you mean?
What champions did he fight?
You're not that dumb. You know who he fought.
He didn't fight any champions. He fought 2 champions. One new champion and one old champion. He didn't consistently sit there over a 15-year tenure and fight champion after champion. Like Randy Couture did. Or Vitor Belfort. He got his 30, boom, and I'm out. That's cool. That's great. Not saying it's not dope. I would love to do it. He did a Mayweather. That's cool. But putting him on a status of like greatest, whatever division he was in, calling him the greatest one to have ever been in that division is crazy. Because there's other fighters that have fought literally everybody, including champions and past champions, and contended their belt several times against multiple champions and contenders, as opposed to like the same guy twice, or some guy that's up and coming and might have a chance just so we can get his name on the radar kind of stuff. Khabib wasn't fighting like those top. He was fighting the guys, yeah, that's cool, but like it wasn't a pay-per-view event.
He has the longest reigning lightweight champion. Like, he's the longest reigning. He did it for 4 years.
Yeah.
How did he fight nobody? That makes no sense.
Yes. But who was competing at the time? Khabib was up there. Who was the competitors at the time of Khabib? Who? Who was he up against? Conor, right. He beat Conor.
He took out Gaethje.
Right, and that's it. Gaethje wasn't even a champion at that time. He hadn't become a champion yet. These guys were just fighters. But exactly, these guys were just fighters at the time. They weren't even. We didn't even know who. Did you know who? Outside.
This division doesn't have the longevity that you're the one you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about all of it, bro. You know me. I know UFC. We're talking UFC.
Then why are you acting dumb?
Because Conor McGregor and Justin Gaethje. At the time, those are. Remember when Nurmagomedov showed up on the scene? Even for those 4 years, we weren't following for all 4 years. It was after he fought Conor and people like that. There was like, oh, this guy's actually good. Oh, this guy's actually on the radar because he beat someone's favorite. He beat everyone's favorite. But that's the only reason why we knew him. That division would have kept been silent if he didn't.
He just beat everyone's favorite every time.
That's it. That's it. He just beat Conor McGregor. He beat Conor McGregor, bro. He didn't beat all these new champions, all these good fighters that they had in the competition now, or previous belt holders that they have now. Because none of these guys were belt holders. They were just...
And that's what I just said. That division didn't exist when it came to UFC. The only divisions that really had the champions and all the shit that you're talking about was... John got lucky at what his weight was. That's it. The light heavyweight division and the middleweight division were the best divisions.
No, you had BJ Penn, bro. Well, hold on, whoa. You had the lighter guys that were freaking going in. That half the time that was Frankie Edgar's and those guys. Those divisions were the ones that had it. The lower divisions are the ones we had the big hitters on. Nobody knew. Only thing we knew about the big division was like the Rampage Conteurs, the Rashad Evans, and those guys. But like, if you think about it, all those guys are UFC champions, right? And they were all UFC champions.
Bounced around in those divisions because we just named 5 guys that were fighting for it.
Those were multiple different divisions, though. I named multiple different divisions. I did.
But talking about Liddell and talking about Couture and talking about Rampage, those are not different divisions.
They didn't stay in the same division. They were middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight divisions, brother.
Middleweight and light heavyweight. No,
and heavyweight.
But they didn't win multiple titles. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not talking about just being a double champ. They were still champions, though, right? You don't have to win. I'm not talking about the double champ thing. I've never mentioned once. I have never mentioned once in this whole conversation a double belt.
A champion.
I have never mentioned once in this whole conversation a double belt.
But you mentioned the fact that John Jones beat all these champions. The only reason why he
yes,
beat all these champions
that matters. So that doesn't matter. If I go and beat a basketball team and they've never played anybody or have any
understanding. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Does it not matter to beat a champion? If I go and beat a bunch of dogs as opposed to a bunch of gorillas, does that not matter? Does it not matter if I go and beat a bunch of bunnies? Huh?
The divisions were different is what I'm saying.
No. But you can still be a champion in your division, though, right? You can still be a champion in your division, though, right? If we're being fight logic. Am I wrong? There could still be multiple champions, you know, because that person loses, this person wins in that division. Every division, right? Because I'm talking about every division.
That's what I'm saying. That division bounced around.
All divisions were bouncing around.
John Jones.
How many times did what's the guy's name with the butt chin? The little white guy from the surfer-looking dude. How many times did he win and lose? How many times did BJ Penn stay on top and was gone? Robbie Lawler. All these different divisions, bro. They were the big names before they were the big guys. So I'm saying, those guys being champions and stuff like that, that's different. Those guys were winning. They were winning pay-per-view events back to back.
You've bounced around on so many points to just make John look good, and then
no, I'm bouncing around on so many. I'm talking. I haven't mentioned John yet. I haven't mentioned John yet since you've mentioned Nurmagomedov. I've literally been focused on what was his competition since winning those 30 or whatever. as opposed to like even take someone who hasn't won a belt, right? Let's take someone, was it Holloway or whoever? To even those guys, Ferguson, those guys that haven't won a belt, but they fought all the champions. So their record makes them the boogeyman or really good, as opposed to this dude just fought like what's that guy that never became anything in the UFC? Something all-star, Northcutt, Sage Northcutt. Okay, really good fighter, really cool looking fighter. Who did he fight? Nobody and got his ass kicked. Somebody good and got his ass kicked. And then a nobody and won. It all depends on who you're fighting, bro. Your record, like if I got 30 fights, I would rather say I beat a bunch of fucking Islam Makhachevs and fucking, you know what I mean? Those kind of names, as opposed to a list of a bunch of people that were just in a division that I had to work my way through to get to my first belt and then hold that belt for 4 years. As opposed to this champion, this contender fight. I had a contender fight last year. I had a contender fight 6 months ago. I had a championship fight a month ago. Like, these guys were going back to back in every division, not just one division, not just heavyweights, middleweights, or lightweights, but even the featherweights, all those guys, the flyweights, those guys. What the fuck is the name of that guy with the butt chin? But every fucking division. It's not just about the bones. But I'm going back to say, before I even said anything about John Bones Jones, I really assumed back in the day that Anderson Silva was the great. I thought for sure. There was nobody that was like ready to fight him, and he was choking people out that you thought was going to beat his ass, or Lyoto Machida and different names like that. So like they, not even just me, the world said was like, yo, that nigga's the greatest of all time. So I look at it like that. Who he fought a lot of great ass people. He got a lot of highlight fights. I'm not going back and looking at Khabib fights unless it's those certain fights where he fought McGregor or whoever the fuck else he fought, Dustin Poirier or whatever. I don't know who he fought unless it's, you know what I mean? I'm not saying he didn't fight nobody. I'm saying champion-wise, I can't go back and say, let me watch him when he fought.
Times.
No, I'm saying right now, I can't say champion-wise because I don't know who he fought. Champions. There was no champions other than the ones that had just, when he got up there and he was ready to get the belt, they had just got the belt type shit. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I know of.
All these things we've gone over are why I said what I said in the beginning. You can't do that. You can't. This is semantics. It's
how
you feel.
Do you? So you don't. Let me ask this serious question then. Let me ask this serious question.
There's 8 different divisions.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna keep it going and say this is why he's better. This is why they're better. But that's what I'm saying. There's so many people.
Because there's levels to it, bro.
You can't just pick one.
Yes, you can. There's levels to it.
No.
There's levels to it.
Because you could give a level for each one.
All right, in football on a team, let's just say in a football on a team. In football on a team, there's a whole squad of people, and they all got their own thing that they do. They got their own thing that they do. There's the big guys, there's the little guys, there's the really fast guys, there's the really strong guys, all that on football. So they have all that on the same team. But there's one guy on the team that can beat all their asses, right? Or there's one guy on the team that can outrun them all. Or there's one guy on the team that can do everything that they do. There's always that one guy, right? So what I'm saying is, like, there's that one guy that is proficient. Not saying he's going to beat them all, but he is proficient in all the areas that the job pertains to. Those are the type of fighters that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, oh, he can step in the ring with this little guy and beat his ass because he's bigger. He can step in. No. He's proficient at these things. Who else on that list? I've already named 4 people that are greatest of all time that I assume are the greatest of all time. And the only thing you said was Nurmagomedov and GSP. So who's biased?
I never said I was biased. I just named people that are. I named some of the same people you named. I don't know where.
But you said they're not. When I named them, you said they weren't the greatest.
We're gone from the original point. And that's why I said what I said.
I'm still on the original point, brother. I'm still on the original point that John Bones Jones is the greatest of all time.
But he's not.
Who's the greatest of all time then?
not.
I've only said one name that is the greatest of all time. That is John Bones Jones, because that's what I feel.
I said 30 minutes ago when we were actually winning.
You said GSP, and then you said Nurmagomedov. So who's better, GSP or Nurmagomedov?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It matters if you're talking greatest of all time.
But it doesn't, because.
All right, imagine we were live right now and we're doing a debate, and chat's doing a whole poll right now, and we're like, yo, who's better?
I don't care.
Say we're pushing it. You don't have to, but they're gonna be like, in the chat, they're gonna be like, this person, their person, that person.
Everyone's gonna say John Jones.
No, there's gonna be Nurmagomedov lovers. They're gonna be GSP lovers, because just like you feel, John Jones cheated. John Jones this. John Jones that. So there's gonna be a lot of people. John Jones ain't nothing but an eye poker. John Jones actually lost that fight against Reyes. There's gonna be a lot of it. Then there's gonna be people talking shit about what's his name? GSP. And there's not much shit you can talk about GSP. I don't know anything negative you could talk about GSP.
Guy came back, what, 6 years after he was done fighting to win the belt again? I mean, come on.
And John Jones did it 3 times. Did it 3 years. I mean, I'm just saying that's GOAT status stuff. They did GOAT stuff. Multiple times. Like, he did multiple GOAT things. Did GSP not do multiple GOAT things?
He took it off a younger fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Jones was fighting someone that shouldn't have been fighting anymore, let alone
But no. But his first belt and second belt, John Jones also stepped in as the youngest champion before there was a new champion. He was the youngest champion, so he came in and beat the dude in his prime, and he wasn't even in his prime yet. John Jones was still fresh in the game and beat the champion in his actual prime, because nigga was in his actual prime at the time, and he got beat. So you can look at it both ways on that one. My point is, they both completed multiple GOAT things. I'm not seeing Nurmagomedov completing multiple GOAT things.
He's the only fucking fighter in the world.
He's what?
He's literally the only person that has retired undefeated. There's no one else in UFC, MMA, is undefeated and not fighting any longer.
How long did he fight? How long did he fight?
If he continued to fight without his dad dying,
how long did he fight?
This dude. Don't even like this dude. He'd still be undefeated, right?
No way. No way. You see competition nowadays? He's not even this. First of all, he was fighting bro, come on. He was fighting different competition. There's levels to it, bro. McGregor's good, but his skill wasn't like. Did you see his fighting, his stand-up?
How can't you say that Nurmagomedov would still be undefeated when he's the reason why Makhachev is a thing?
I don't care about Makhachev. Like, I think the Dagestan guys, it's like, that's a takeover. It's great, but they're like, you gonna come in and just smuggles. First of all, they ruined the way you look at MMA. They literally come in and bear hug and wrestle, which is great, but like, you can't say, I'm gonna smash him, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and you just choke him and you just hug him the whole fight. Now, that's different fighting, and they win the fight, so that's... They win the fight, so I'm not taking it against them, but...
I'm just saying, don't get taken down. Punch him, knock him out.
Yeah, that's good. And that's why John Jones is good, because he doesn't get taken down. But he's taken down everyone who's never been taken down, which is cool. He's been taken down now once, I think. Maybe even not. But that's my point. That's even my point there. Dude came in and left undefeated. He didn't fight for 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive championship defenses.
Yeah, which is, if you want to bring that into play, how does he have a better record?
No. You didn't hear what I said. He didn't fight for 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive championship defenses, title defenses, defending his belt 4 or 5 times, 6 or 7 times.
3-year freaking.
How many times? Do you know how many times did he contend his belt for that? However long he was champion, 3 or 4. I'm asking for real. Do you honestly know? Because I don't.
Like I said, I don't like the guy. I'm just saying he's the only.
No, I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of Nurmagomedov. I didn't like Conor McGregor when he popped on the scene because I was an Eddie Alvarez fan. The
only person out of all the people that we've talked about that I actually really liked was GSP. I don't really care for any of the other ones, but they're in the conversation because of who they were.
And that's what I'm saying. Because of who they were, there in the
If you
conversation.
want to go into that, you could literally just pull off anybody. You could say
Muhammad Ali.
Mighty Mouse, you could say Stipe. You should say Daniel.
Okay, but
Cormier,
who did Mighty Mouse fight?
Aldo, Henry Cujo.
How did Mighty Mouse get the name though?
Literally list all of them. Volkanovski, Holloway. Like this is the
But
thing
why
I'm
do
talking
you
about
know
with the
their
GOAT
names?
list.
Because they fought
There's
champions
19
before
different
because
goats.
they did GOAT things. They didn't just get their name because their name is likable. They got their name because they fought GOAT people.
Matt Hughes, and the only reason why Matt Hughes is in the list is because he beat GSP.
No way. Matt Hughes was before GSP. Matt Hughes, when GSP came in, GSP was the fresh new thing. Matt Hughes,
that was Matt Serra.
Yeah. I was like, Matt Hughes was old as shit. Matt Serra still.
The only thing Matt Serra ever did was flukily beat GSP.
But he was still in his old age. He was still like, he was surprised that he beat GSP. You know what I mean? I watched the fight. I was there. I watched the fight on TV. Literally, all these people that you're mentioning, I was watching their fights.
All the people like Rampage, Liddell, Leota, all those guys were the reason why I like UFC.
But who are you naming? You're naming champions. You're naming champions. People that fought in different fight leagues and was still champions in those. Rampage was a champion in the boxing, in the K1 kickboxing realm.
If you're in a GOAT conversation and you haven't been a champion, you don't deserve to be in the GOAT.
No, if you're a GOAT conversation and you haven't beat champions.
You're gonna be talking about, that's what I'm saying.
If you haven't beaten multiple champions, beaten a champion, you're not a GOAT, bro. Beating 2 new champions, you're not a GOAT. I don't see it. So Nurmagomedov, I don't care if he's the only person to ever retire. There's one fighter.
What you mean? That doesn't even make sense.
Yes, it does.
Your whole thing is because they beat a champion.
No, my whole thing is because their tenure. You're looking at one point. You argue like a woman. Their tenure. How many champions? How long they've done it? Yes, how many champions? How long has it? You're still going. I get your point on it, but you've missed the idea. How many champions and how long they've maintained the belt and how many times they fought and protected the belt matters. Not just what champions they fought. How many times? How many years? No, that's the same thing I said 20 minutes ago too. It's the same shit. I said it matters who they fight. It doesn't. You can't just go in and fight 30 guys and say I'm a champion. Yeah, you might get the belt, but you didn't fight 30 champions and then became a champion. You fought 30 guys that were in the same division as you that have never fought a champion yet.
Fucking 10 champions.
Who?
None of these guys who are GOATs have beat fucking 10 to 12 champions, like you're saying.
I don't know. Because
when it comes to the UFC, you need at least 10 or 11 fights before they even give you a championship fight.
And you don't think some of these guys got like 10 or 11 fights? Hold on. I'm gonna ask that question right now. This is a good question though, because that makes sense. It's a valid question. And I like that question. All right, you want to hear this out? Let's see who was just like right now. I said, and it had to show me him, unfortunately. John Jones has defeated 8 UFC champions in his career, more than any other fighter in the promotion's history. The victories include wins over Mauricio Shogun Rua, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Glover Teixeira, Daniel Cormier, Sarragon. The list goes on. Now, with that being said, let's go to someone that's not going to put John Jones on the list immediately.
This is the thing that I don't even understand.
I'm gonna code in Anderson Silva.
Some of these fighters, their fights that they're counting on their record aren't even in the UFC.
No, but these fights that they just mentioned right here were UFC fights. Nate Mark, all these fights, I said UFC.
Some of these other fighters, they don't like Khabib.
But should those not? But should those not? We're talking MMA. Yes, MMA is good, but the promotion of the UFC is one thing. We're talking about as fighters, pound for pound, greatest in the world. In any promotion, these guys can move over to any promotion and dominate, right? Khabib could move over to it. So you're saying Khabib? So Khabib could not move over to another promotion and dominate like he did in the UFC, or could he? I'm going with you on this.
Every one of these guys could, but we would never see
right.
it because they won't.
Right. So if we wanted to talk about their amateur career, if we wanted to talk about these good fighters' amateur career, if we wanted to talk about their amateur career, we talk about Israel Adesanya's amateur career, but we're not. We're talking about how many champions he came in and actually beat in the UFC. We're not how many fights he's had in Pride or fucking whatever, like all these others. But those do matter because think about this. This nigga would. It's like going into UFL or NFL and playing for 10 years, hard, I don't know, whatever, 10 hard-ass years and getting several championship rings with your teams and then going and playing for fucking space football for a real important event, and now you're doing that. And you still go in there and you're getting 10 rings. You know what I mean? It matters that you've played, that your levels to it. Like D1, I was a D1. There you go. You can't just go and say, hey, I'm D3 and I'm in there fucking dominating. What's that guy's name that we were talking about? Macchiao? No. GSP? GSP. GSP defeated a total of 7 UFC champions. Notice, this is all UFC. John Jones said 9. GSP's at 7. Including Matt Hughes, BJ Penn twice, Matt Serra, Son Schnurk, fucking Michael Bisping, Jake Shields, Nick Diaz. Now we're going to do Khabib. Because they're being specific. We want specific. Nurmagomedov fought 3 UFC champions. He beat 3 UFC champions. Ali Quinta, whoever that is, I know who it is, I'm just messing. For the vacant title, by the way. Then he defended his title against Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. Correction. Eli Quinta wasn't even a champion. So he fought Eli Quinta for a vacant title and became a title of something that wasn't even there. That wasn't possessed at the moment by anyone. And then defeated Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, and fucking Dustin Gaethje. That's no GOAT status for me. Now, 29-0 for his record? Great. Calling him a GOAT? No. His record, though? Yeah, nobody's going to have a record like that because nobody just said, yo, I'm out of here. I'm done. While I got 0 on my record, I'm going to just leave. More people wanted to continue to fight and say, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going, and keep going. Now, if anybody should have did that, it should have been Anderson Silva. He should have left when he had his fucking chance. Did he? No. Floyd Mayweather. Leave. Now, who has the most title defenses? Or takedown defenses? All those things matter too. Who has the most title defenses in UFC history is what I'm going to go for. Not. Put it on that. Demetrius Johnson holds the record for the most title defenses in history for 11 consecutive.
One of the guys I said.
Yeah, I mentioned Demetrius too. But I only mentioned him because...
And the only reason he's not doing it, Dana didn't like him. That's the only reason why he's not doing it to this day. Dana traded his ass for Ben Askren.
And yeah, that's just it. John Jones. Oh, now John Jones has a total of.
Possibly even champion.
John Jones has now upped that, and he has 12. Well, yeah, John Jones has 12 title defenses, and he has 11. Now, with that being said, who did Demetrius?
Yeah, but then at his pride, or whatever the hell he's in now, his 1 title defenses. He hasn't lost in 1 yet.
I want to know how many champions he fought, because it's good to, and I know Demetrius fought a lot of people. But
Oh, my bad. He has lost. He lost to an old.
yeah, recently.
UFC, yeah, he lost to an old UFC fighter.
Forgot to say that when you mentioned that.
But he redeemed it twice. He knocked the guy out and then decisioned him in back-to-back.
How many UFC champions did Demetrius Johnson beat? Listen to this. In his whole career, of all those title defenses, right? None of those guys were champions except for 3. And with that being said, one of them, actually do know the names, but they weren't even that real important. Joseph Benavidez, twice.
This is what I was trying to get at earlier, though. Like,
Henry Cejudo.
These divisions weren't, like, the smaller divisions were all about one dude having the title for a minute. Like,
Well,
the light heavyweight and the heavyweight divisions, they were always moving. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, but we were too much into the back and forth.
No, I understood
Like,
what you
these
meant, and I
divisions
had
are
a rebuttal
different.
for that too.
This division goes back and forth. Like 6 different dudes are just beating each other for the belt. Whereas 1, 2, or 3 of these divisions, literally one guy had the belt the whole time. Anderson Silva, DSP, Mighty Mouse. Like, they didn't.
Yeah, but
have,
the whole time, hear me out.
15 different people winning the title. Like,
Hear me out though.
does.
With that being said, these guys that are passing through the belt, right, in these lower divisions, because he only fought 3 champions during his reign, during his whole career, let's be honest. And this is what we talked about during everybody's career. You only fought 3 champions. Now, with that being said, during his championship reign, how many champions did you fight while you were champion? Matters, right? So that's like how many hard.
Some of these divisions it's not possible. I'm trying to
No,
say.
it
He's
didn't.
the
No,
champion the whole time. None of them are going to become champion when he has a 7-year reign as champion.
But that makes
Like,
no
that's what I'm
sense
trying to
when
get
you
at.
have plenty. Okay, if that's the case, then while Anderson Silva was a champion, right, and he had a belt for this long,
Look him
how
up.
was he?
Shit,
How
look
was he
him
able
up.
to fight?
Who did he beat as champion?
Who?
Nobody, because he was the
Who?
champion. Anderson Silva.
Who did? That's like saying who did John Jones beat when he was champion? He beat all the champions.
That's because, like I just said, it's a different weight class where they were actually winning championships before John.
Yeah,
Jones
but you
came
said
on
they
the
were
picture.
holding the belt for so long that they weren't fighting. They weren't. There was no champions to beat. But the thing is, Anderson Silva literally started off in a short. I'm gonna tell you the year span. Right? What champions? Vitor Belfort. Straight up foot kick to the face. Vitor Belfort was one of the most dangerous men on the planet. Right? Chael Sonnen. Champion. Beat him. Forrest Griffin. Champion.
Chael Sonnen never won the championship. What are you talking about?
What?
Chael Sonnen never won the championship.
Chael Sonnen was never UFC champion?
No, because he lost to Silva twice.
Let's look at that.
I'm pretty positive he never won. He
I'm
almost
sure
won it
he held a
against-
belt at some point in time, but I'll look at that. I'll look into that. I'll look into that.
Never became a champion. So whatever you've been looking up, how do we know that it's even accurate? If
What do you
it's
mean?
Telling you that these people were champions when they weren't champions.
I'm just looking. And it's multiple sites I'm moving, by the way. It's not just like one place I'm going. Anderson, trash talker, he wasn't a champion. But it was a championship fight. Twice. With that being said, Anderson still fought people like Damian Maia. Yusha Nakami. The list goes on. In his record of 34 and, sounds terrible now, 11. It was amazing back when he was moving.
Damian Maia never won a championship.
But Damian Maia was top name.
You can't go back.
Hear me out though. Did you not know who Damian Maia was when they fought? When Khabib was fighting, did we know half of those people other than the names you're going to mention right now? For the most part, we don't know. Now, when Diaz was fighting, we knew the people Diaz was fighting. When GSP was fighting, it was like, oh, he's fighting he's fighting homeboy. It was worth to come and pull up and watch. Khabib's rise was only worth to watch when he got to those guys, and it was like, yo, let's watch him fight. But let's look at the people that, all right, let's just look at the people that Anderson fought, right? And let's just see if it's like I'm going to watch. Now, if I am wanting to watch this guy, and UFC is all just now popping out, and all these people is like, I guess, new to the scene, like Chris Lieben and Rich Franklin, Travis Lutter, Nate Marquardt, fucking Dan Henderson, Patrick Cote. But these names, you know what I mean? And this is all while holding a belt, right? So, like, he's fighting a lot of these guys, and these several title defenses. Stephan Bonner, Chael Sonnen, Vitor Belfort, Damian Maia, Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping. What's that?
Bonner wasn't for the belt.
No, I'm saying, but a lot of these people were for the belt. I didn't say Bonner was for the belt. I said, and these guys. Yeah. Because I was reading a couple names down here, like Dan Henderson. He was a belt holder, is what I'm saying. So, him being a belt holder. And then the way you're winning. Punches, kicks, chokes, armbar, triangle choke, rear naked, heel kick, heel hook, flying knee, triangle choke. All these different ways of winning. It also plays into effect when it comes down to like record, what you do, how good you are, significant strikes you've landed compared to, the next fighter. So does that put him in there? If you really deep dive into Anderson Silva's record, what made Anderson one of the greatest was not his record, but who and how he was fighting while he was fighting. So his record didn't even make him the great. It was literally how he fought. They called him the Spider.
If we want to go off stats,
let's go.
If you want to go off stats, I think, let's see. The only name I can consistently see in all these, top stats like total fights, wins, finishes, KOs, submissions, decisions, is Silva and GSP.
Silva?
Yeah, Silva
and GSP.
Is the top win streak.
Yeah.
Silva's third in knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to take something as stats, you can't. Neither one of the people we've even talked about are in the top on the stats. So
right,
that's the craziest part when it comes to people who use stats for the GOAT conversation, but you can't even.
But what did I say about stats? Did you hear what I said about stats? Did you hear what I said about stats? As I said, when I said about stats, I said stats, yes, but he won based on how he fought and who he fought, not just his record, which would be the stats, right? How he fought and who he fought. That nigga was just smooth. He looked good doing it. Just like Israel Adesanya. He became one of the greatest fighters of all time by being really likable and fresh and new and having a different style, right? Not because he had 100+ fights right before stepping in UFC and winning a title, which is good. So there's not just stats, but if you look at who has the best UFC record in UFC history, unfortunately, John Jones.
You know, I knew you were. Yeah, I don't know where you got that from.
What?
You meant to talk about Gain, not Overeem. Jones never fought Overeem. When you said that earlier,
I said Cyril Gane. Earlier when I said Alistair Overeem, it was because you said there was no good fighters in that division, and I mentioned good fighters in that division. But I did mention he fought him, and I'm like, yeah, he didn't. But if he did, he would have beat him. Just like you said, if Khabib would have been still fighting, he would have been undefeated. John Jones would have beat the freaking shit out of Alistair Overeem. But that's just my bias. John Jones, who has the best UFC record? John Jones is widely considered to have the best UFC record despite not having the most wins, while Jim Miller has held the record for the most UFC wins. John dominance is undefeated record. So John and the way he dominates also matters too. Now, John Jones, 28-1. Jim Miller, bet you that nobody even fucking knows who he is, right? Right? Mm-hmm. I bet.
I know who Jim Miller is.
Yeah, we do, but nobody else fucking knows who he is.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Holds the most for UFC wins, 27 wins. No.
Like
27 UFC wins and the most UFC fights with 46 fights. While he was in his win
He's like a 500 fighter.
Yeah.
He has just as many losses.
So you get what I'm saying? Like it matters a lot on who you're fighting and how your fight record is. You're dominant. Another fighter with a strong record to claim. They're saying another fighter with a strong record to claim.
Oliveira when it comes to submissions, and I guarantee no one would have known Jim Miller was a submission expert.
Yeah, but no one knows a lot of these people. Like Jim Miller, even in looking at Jim Miller, he's not like, oh, that's the guy. Nobody knows that Andrei Arlovski should be in the fucking GOAT status too, for what he's accomplished. Yeah, he's older and getting knocked the fuck out and he's past his prime, but like Arlovski's a motherfucking monster.
I think that's the worst part about our age is all these guys that were fucking disgusting. These kids don't even understand how disgusting they were.
Which is okay. Since you understand that, given my age, brother, I've been watching these motherfuckers for a long time, bro.
Are you probably watching UFC 5-6 years before I even started?
But that's what it's not even. It's that, and then it's the fact that I knew like these back-to-back champions. How about this? When Khabib popped on the scene, and Conor popped on the scene, I was like, who the fuck is these guys? Like, what the hell are these guys about to come in here and do? And then it's like money got in there. Before that, there was that money. It wasn't about money like that. Once it became about money.
Even at it with Dana White, a lot of these people, like Dana White, I don't care what anybody says, he's fixing the fight. Not fixing the fights, but he's fixing the schedule.
Well, duh. It happened since
he doesn't go by the way it's supposed
since
to go
Conor McGregor stepped in the scene. Soon as Conor McGregor stepped, because John Jones, Rashad, all these people were great. Conor McGregor stepped on the scene, and it was like, yo, this white guy can get us money. And I swear to God, every fight from there, from Khabib's bullshit ass record, I don't care what you say, because he was part of the problem. I knew for a fact. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy coming here just wrestling people and winning? First of all, his fighting skills is crazy. He sucks. And these dudes are like panicking when he's doing stuff. Fighters that I'm watching some of these fights. I'm like, he shouldn't have lost that. Oh, he should have swung at him. Why is he folding him? Okay, great. Not saying he's not good. Khabib's good. But Khabib, Conor, all that shit was all money ploys. All that shit was Islam Makhachev, money ploys. All that stuff. Ways to get in, ways to make money, and it works. And it's like now these just money fighters. These guys are good because the publicity like them and it gives them a power. So now it's like they can't lose. They can't do anything wrong. Look at fighters like fucking Paddy the Baddy. Great fighter. Cool. But the public loves him, so he's popular as shit. And it's working for him. He's getting the good fights. He's getting the easier fights that he knows. He's getting to choose the fights and shit like that. So like it works that way, bro.
Gaethje should 100% be facing Ilya next, but it's gonna be Paddy.
Because they like Patty.
Yeah. I mean, I like Patty. Yeah.
Khabib's, I like Patty too, but Khabib's record is because they wanted him to be the next big thing. It was like, oh, he's doing it. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, he's doing it.
You can. That's why I said that's one of those stupid stats that is just gonna go off of. Oh yeah, but he's undefeated. Like I even used the argument, but like looking deeper into it, I mean, he really only had 4 title defenses.
And didn't fight like the name brand people. And he's my age. Nigga was born a couple months after me, bro. So like prime, we could talk about it, but
He
like
just wanted
fight
to become
history.
a coach. Let me pee.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go through. Look, I'm gonna go through and look at these names. He fought a bunch of Magomedovs, a bunch of Kermanovs and Lamanovs and Dibabals. The first dude he fought was a Mauve. The second dude he fought was a Mauve. The third dude he fought was a Lov. The fourth dude he fought was a Dov. So come on, bro. He's fighting. They were mixing around, passing each other around. Oh, we gotta fight. We gotta fight this week. Okay, we gotta fight next week. And then he fought Ahmed, a Rov, a Lov, a Gov. He's not fighting anybody until fucking, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, until he gets to Thiago Alves. Until he gets to Thiago Alves on his first pay-per-view event. Until he got to Thiago Alves. I'm sorry, on his third time. Because this is UFC on FX. Belfort versus Bigsby. He's on that card. That's a big card, bro. They were like, yo, let's get this guy. Let's get him rising. They put him on 3 different things to get his name out there. Before he fought another person. Abel Trujillo, nobody knows. Pat Healy, we know Pat Healy. Rafael Dos Santos, know him. Daryl Horcher, give or take. Then it gets to Michael Johnson and Edson Barboza and Eli Ali Quinta and Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. But that was at the end of shit. You know what I'm saying? And those were the only title defenses, the last 4 of his career. The last 4 fights was the only time the title was even, a thing. And he did headline each one of those UFC events. All 4 of those, it was Khabib versus, or Khabib versus, or Khabib versus. So that's good. But record-wise, it didn't sound like he was fighting a lot of people. And mind you, all those fights that I mentioned were 2008. All those fights before he got to UFC was 2008 to 2011. Or 2011. Then finally in 2012, he's in the UFC. And doesn't see a title in 2018. That's a long time. If you're supposed to be the greatest. Some of these guys coming in 3 years, 2 years, getting their title up without fighting that many people, but they fought bigger, better people. So it's how you look at it too. So don't get me wrong, that nigga got 30 fights. That's 30 fights. That's 30 times that nigga went in there and fought people and won. So I can't take that away from him either. But Golden Fist in Russia, if you want to talk about since you said they're not UFC fights, if we're really being honest, now that you said it, because now that we're here, we're doing this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 of the 30 Khabib fights were not even in the UFC.
Oh, I know. I brought that up.
So
I said what I said. I went
his record is only fucking 15. Get him out of here. Get out. Get him out of here. He's not even on the good 15 fights in the UFC. 15 fights. Get him out of here. We're done with that conversation. Khabib.
Everyone who put him into the conversation and took him out of it, so believe me.
That guy. I just had to look at his record to make sure I was seeing what I thought I was seeing.
It actually pisses me off the more I think about it with all this shit.
Yeah, that's...
Like Khabib could have been nasty. but his dad died, and now he just wants to be a coach.
I don't even think that was the reason, dog. I get that his dad died, but I just think
exactly the reason.
that's what he said.
He told his mom, he told his mom that once his dad died, just fight that one last fight or whatever, and then leave.
Yeah. Okay.
That's legitimately what he said.
That's legitimate what he said, but that money in his pocket probably was saying something. Bro, come on, bro. Don't be WWE fooled now. You know that nigga was making more bread than Conor McGregor at that moment. And was like...
Conor McGregor made him most of his bread.
Exactly, just like fucking Alex Pereira made Izzy most of his. But like, come on. Or Izzy made Alex most of his. But like, come on.
I love that whole Izzy Alex Pereira shit when like... That was their big talking point was, oh, this guy beat him. This guy beat him when they were kickboxing. Like, that's all they cared about. But where was that beforehand? Before Alex popped onto the scene, no one ever talked about any of these losses. They only talked about how he's had over 100 plus fights and all this stuff.
So we knew that was...
All of a sudden Alex comes into the picture and he's, oh yeah, but this guy's got his number. That's what cracked me up.
And that's what they said. They said he got his number. But he beat him twice in the past, and those are the fights I watched from Izzy. When Izzy popped on the scene, I was like, who's this new guy trying to be like trying to be like John Jones and Anderson Silva? And I looked up his fights. And the first couple fights I saw, he was dominating, and he got knocked out. And I was like, oh shit, who's this guy that knocked him out? I saw who he was. I was like, okay, Alex Pereira, however they used to say his name overseas. I was like, okay. He's got knocked out. Then he got knocked out again. And his son mocked him in the ring. I was like, okay, this dude getting knocked out. I'm talking, I watched Izzy's, all his shit.
They did all that bullshit that they started like 5 years ago back then.
They don't have it. They didn't have that back then, though.
Imagine the super fights we would have had.
Imagine, well, they didn't have that. They didn't have the publicity and shit.
Yeah, like Anderson Silva versus freaking GSP would have fed families.
Yeah, but it would have also destroyed.
Would have been nasty too.
It would have John versus who?
Israel.
John's way too big for Izzy. It would have been John versus Alex or something, because Alex is too big for Izzy too. But Alex is way bigger than that. I just think, but yeah, if John was back in his middleweight, if he was a small size, or if he went to middleweight, should I say? Yeah, maybe. But as strong as he hits, I think he would have laid. I'm down. I think he would have laid Alex and John is a big dude, bro. I think that people misunderstand.
What was that person made of?
I don't know. I tried myself and he didn't die. He didn't die.
Every shot. Like normally I miss him, but I'm not even like I actually hit him each time. I don't understand what's happening.
I always wish that Rashad Evans was really good. Like, he was really good, but I wish that he, didn't get beat by John Jones and embarrassed. Because John jumped on... First of all, how you come on the scene matters, too. John came on the scene with a bang, beating the shit out of people, and being he was the homie to the champion. And then the champion and him got beef, and they promoted John. They were like, yo, let's promote John out there. Let's see if he can get this fight off. And then he went out there and beat his homie, and then beat his homie's enemy. And I was like, wait. So it's how you come on the scene too, and that's a smooth, proper way as a fighter to come on the scene. And his introduction to the world was pretty goated one-sidedly too, because they were like, yo, bring that nigga in some real beef, like real. These dudes are homies beef, and they did. Came in, did the same. He came in, got down on all fours just like Rashad Evans used to do. Everybody thought that was John Jones shit. That used to be Rashad Evans shit. Straight stole it. Stole that shit from Rashad. And he's not in the same party as me again. This is going to be my last game for now. I got to smoke one. 3, 2, 1. Party hopping shit ain't good for conversation.
know that all get ruined that we had going. We haven't seen the top fucking 5 since.
You about to get shot?
30 minutes of gameplay because of it.
He said I can't conversate when niggas talking about John Bones. I heat up. I'm going around the right. They're in the courtyard. Lost visual. Up to the right. To the right. Neutralize.
I didn't know this shotgun had distance like that. Damn.
Here you go. I swear I'd be throwing them shits at you 24/7 like Donkey Kong. I always find like 3 of them, so I'd throw you one.
Every time you throw me one, I already have one too. It's hilarious.
Oh.
Oh, I pick it up. I rock 2.
Yeah, I'd be rocking 4 of those recharge slurps. After this, I'm gonna go burn one. I might keep the stream up, that way I can just come back into it. I was gonna go through the rift, but then I seen a chest. Right? Oh! Oh, no damage. We got shooting to the left, I mean to the right. Hey bro, I'm running on water. He's fighting somebody. Right here. This is where I died last time. I'm gonna get my revenge. Yeah! This is where I died last time. Got my Revo. There's a dude over there. Oh, what's that, fire? Hell yeah. You want that shotgun? They're over here. Sorry. How did I mark that? How did I mark that? Bro, how did I mark that? From where we were, there was no sight on that. That's impossible.
Behind us.
On you? Oh, both sides. Let's take the guy on the right first. Yeah, this guy.
He's the loner.
No. Guy to the right then? I mean, people in the left side. Damn, he shot my shit up.
Yeah, he got me too.
Finish him. Damn. Oh, it's 3 niggas, bro. Am I bugging? Okay, nah, it's 2. It's 2. One finished me from the left, but then when they were shooting at you, they were both on the right-hand side. Your fat ass can't get out that window. Hey, she too big. She too big. Oh, shit. Behind you. Drink some shield while you can. 5, 4, 3. How's he hitting exactly where you were walking, bro?
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Alright, time to fight, bro. Time to fight. He's in the storm. Good shit. That's game.
That's how we do.
That's game.
See, I can't be talking shit and making shit happen.
That's game. Alright, I'm lobbying for the lobbyist.
Yep.
I wonder how long will Twitch let me stay on? And why do I have a screensaver? Ooh. Ooh. Alright, player, I'll be back in a little.
I won't.
Are you out of here?
Yeah, I gotta go to work in the morning.
Alright, well then I'm calling it.
Alright, man.
Alright, player. Catch you next time.
Yep.
GG's.
Later.